The Simple series is a range of budget games mainly released in Japan that started in 1998 for the PlayStation 1. Made quickly and on the cheap, these low price offerings covered a wide range of genres, and with baseball being so popular in Japan, it's no surprise that a few games on the sport were made. But just because these games are cheap doesn't mean any of them are any good. Well, let's take a quick look at the 4 released games to see if you would have grabbed a bargain or you would have been better grabbing a few highballs and some takoyaki. The Yaku Pro Yaku Jitsu Maiban was the first baseball game released as Volume 21 for the PlayStation 1, offering a season, tournament and exhibition mode along with team editing features, all while having the MPB license. This already got off to a good start. Then you get into a game and quickly things go south. This PC engine looking game is actually a manager simulator, leaving you without being in direct control of the action. You can influence things like changing the defensive alignment, telling batters to hit grounders, and change players out, but that's about it. Honestly, for the first few innings in my initial game, I was already bored. The single crowd chant that plays during a game and the one menu music in between innings really started to get on my nerves. But after changing the game speed to fast for whatever reason, I really started to enjoy it. The little player animations combined with the game now progressing at a good pace started to become fun. Watching my team hit a home run was genuinely exciting as it was so unexpected. Eventually, the game went to extra innings and they managed to hit a walk-off bomb to secure a victory, which led to me popping off and scaring my cat. It goes without saying that this won't be for everyone, especially considering the language barrier and the bare minimum gameplay that it has. And it does also have a few weird quirks, like the outfielders throwing the ball at what feels like a snail's pace. Moving on, we have the Yaku 2 2002 Pro Yaku, also on the PlayStation 1. This is a sequel that, aside from a new coat of paint that now makes the game look like it belongs on the SNES and updated rosters, is exactly the same as before. This might be full screen now compared to the window view previously, but it all looks a little less detailed and blurry. I'm not sure why, but I prefer the look of the original. On the positive side, the menu music and crowd chants don't loop as frequently, so they don't become as annoying, and you don't have to go to the menu in between the top and the bottom of an inning, so the game flow is much better. So if you're into simulators based on decades old MPB rosters and can read Japanese, either one of these might be worth looking into. Next, we upgrade to the PlayStation 2 for the Pro Yaku 2003 Pennant Race. The game doesn't offer very much in terms of modes or features at all, and that's saying something compared to the last 2 games. You can either play a season or versus mode. Even the options only let you set stereo or mono sound and whether you want vibration or not. Unlike the last 2 games, you actually get to play baseball, which might seem like an improvement until you get into a game. I know Japan has a thing for quirky and odd designs, but I'm not really sure what they were going for here. Not only do all the players look weird, but the UI is horrendous too with its rainbow colour scheme. To make matters worse, the hitting is almost impossible. You set your PCI by moving the sliders horizontally and vertically, which is okay, but once a pitch is thrown, you're locked into that position. Pitches can have up to 8 different pitches that break insane amounts, so it's really hard to guess where a ball will be and to time it up for a hit. I really struggled at first, and even after a few games where I started to get a few hits, it never felt good. But if you get a runner on base, you don't have to worry about hitting anymore to score. The AI for defense is broken and will make some very questionable decisions, especially when it comes to base running and stealing. You can take advantage of this by attempting to steal and return over and over again until the CPU just gives up and you can advance the runner. This was about the only enjoyment I had while playing this, as everything else just felt unfinished and unresponsive. I understand these games are from a budget line, but this wasn't worth the price back then, nor is it now for even cheaper. The last game, the Pro Yaku 2004, is an updated version of the previous. Were any improvements made in the sequel? Not a thing. Exactly the same menu and modes, exactly the same gameplay with a slightly different looking strike zone, and exact same boredom. If there's a single positive I could give, it looks like the defensive AI is a tad better, as it was harder to attempt to steal bases, but then that made the only bit of fun I had disappear. If I had to pick between the two, I'd go for the first game, if only because the bust AI made for some funny moments. Technically, there's a 5th simple game with baseball in it released for the DS, the sports Daishugo, Yaku, tennis, volleyball, futsal and golf. This collection has you play the 5 sports either in minigames or in a challenge mode. For the baseball side, it's not bad, it controls well and it looks okay for a DS game, but if I was going to play baseball on my DS, I'd go with my new favourite I covered in a previous video. For a sport that's so popular in Japan, I would have expected these games to have a little more polish and care applied to them. Sure, they're budget games, but there are some great games in the Simple series that feel like they could have been full releases, some of which have turned into their own franchises. While these could compete with other baseball titles and win on the price point, they were never going to come close to other full-blown baseball games from this era. Out of all of them, I'd only go back to play the first PlayStation 1 game, as it can be quite relaxing to just let a ball game play out while I sit and drink and eat some snacks. Speaking of which, you would be better off buying those highballs and takoyaki. But that's just a quick overview of some of the baseball games in the Simple series. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and drop a comment below if there's any other baseball games you'd like me to cover. And that's it for me. I hope you've enjoyed the video, enjoy whatever you're playing, and I'll catch you in the next one.